Hi there. Hope you guys are doing really, really well. My name is Brian. I am your queer psychic bestie, and this is going to be a monthly forecast for the sign of Cancer. So if you have Cancer anywhere in your chart, crosswatch, maybe you just like Cancers, this reading may resonate with you. As always, take what resonates, leave what does not. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can do that through email or form submission on my website. If you vibe with my reading style, if you like how I deliver messages, consider liking and subscribing. I am new to the YouTube. I am originally from TikTok. You may have seen me there before, but yeah, we're on the road to 100 subscribers. Let's see what's going on for you guys, Cancers. I always feel like I have more of a spiel to say, and then I get into it and I forget it all. I am doing a Celtic cross for you guys today. We will not be going as in-depth in the cross as we would in a personal reading, just because otherwise we'd be here all day together, and I don't think you want to be here all day with me, okay? All right, Cancer. Let's get into this. I also stream tarot 3 days a week on Twitch. So Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Wednesday, Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. EST. And then Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 4 to 6 p.m. EST. You can find me doing my thing on Twitch. But okay, let's get into this, Cancer. Let's look at your month ahead. Bottom of the deck is your challenge. We've got the Two of Pentacles, the Empress, and the Nine of Swords. Okay, Cancer. So it really does feel like for you guys, the challenge here is reception. It's like being able to receive. I feel like for some of you, with that Two of Pentacles, I feel like you are struggling with almost like an internalized capitalism wound here of like, oh, I have to like work, you know, I have to work obscenely hard for the things that I want. This is like a deserving wound, really, is how this is coming through. You know, when we struggle to believe that we are deserving of the things that we want, it keeps them from flowing into our lives. Also, the lights have been a little weird today, so please just bear with me on that one. I keep seeing them like flicker and like the lines come across the screen. It's weird, but okay, let's get into this. So you start with the Nine of Wands in your current energies. So for a lot of you, it feels like your approach, right? See, it's doing it again. I don't know what to do. I may just hold it back here. Okay. It feels like for a lot of you here for the month of June, because that is the month we are talking about. We are in June. Happy Pride if you are in the Alphabet Mafia. It feels like with this Nine of Wands here, a lot of you are still in this place of, interesting that I said still, maybe you've been struggling with this for a while, but like still in this place of guardedness, like defensiveness. Cancer, you are represented by the crab, so it does kind of make sense here to be a little bit guarded. It feels like you are a little bit, I almost want to call you sharp as well. I don't know, I'm getting a lot of like pincer imagery here today, and I feel like some of you may struggle in the field of like letting people see you, letting people, like being vulnerable with people without feeling like you need to have a little bit of an edge to keep yourself safe. Your crossing card, which is either a helper or a hindrance, is the Five of Wands. This is a hindrance, babe. Five of Wands is conflict. Okay, so it does really feel like this does kind of come across as like internal conflict for me. I don't really feel like you're surrounded by conflict right now, but it does feel like you are experiencing it within yourself, specifically in the ways that you are showing up is how I'm hearing it, like showing up in your own life, but also showing up in other people's lives. It feels like you may, interesting come through. I heard imposter syndrome. You may be struggling with imposter syndrome, or like feelings of like, oh, I'm not who I think I am, or like I'm not who I say I am. This is a weird reading. The Hierophant and the Magician. Okay, so we're definitely working on our manifestations this month, Hierophant and the Magician. When we talk about the Magician, we are talking about calling in what we're looking for. And when we talk about the Hierophant, that is our commitment. You know, it is also a card of marriage, but in this case, I feel like we're not really talking, you may be married, but like, I don't feel like that's what we're talking about here. It feels like with the Magician, you are It's almost like the way I'm hearing it is waiting for your ships to show up. It feels like in June there is still a waiting period here for you, and it almost feels like that's what's causing this like sharpness for you, because you're like, oh, where is this thing that I've been waiting for? Where are my ships? I've been waiting a really long time. Why haven't they come in yet? And I feel like this is almost like a little bit of a test for you. Less of like a, when we say test, it has like a bad rep because I think people think, oh, well, I have to ace the test. I have to pass the test. This is more so of a test for you of like, how much have you grown? How much discomfort can you really sit through before what you're asking for shows up, right? Because in your headspace, you've got the Ace of Wands. I don't want to get too close because then the light's going to go weird. With the Ace of Wands here, I do feel like you are excited about, like, the way I'm hearing it is like the prospects that are right in front of you. You could be, how do I say this? Because I keep hearing shifting gear. So you could be shifting gear, changing perspectives, changing the way that you're moving, the places that you're going. And it does feel like with that Ace of Wands, you are excited by this. I feel like whatever the shift is that's coming in for you, whatever gear you're kind of shifting here, this is a gear that you are happy to be doing, excited to be doing. The Fool. Yeah, a lot of newness coming in for you. And the Star. Wow, Cancer. Really big energies coming in for you guys here. Temperance at the bottom. Like I said, Temperance is patience, but also balance. Ace of Pentacles. For a lot of you, this is like this could be a new career. This could be a way, this is so weird. I don't know what this means. A way into the market? I don't know what that means. Take that for what it resonates for you, like a way into the market. Maybe you're looking to get into some sort of market. There is a proposition here that I feel like is coming in for you that will get you into the market you're looking for, but it does feel like a moment of, again, being a little bit patient, but don't allow, the way I'm hearing this is like, don't allow the quiet to like take the passion. Like, just because you're waiting, you shouldn't be losing momentum because you're waiting. And I mean that in like a passion sort of way. Like, if you, let's say you've been waiting for a job for like a year and they finally call you back, you shouldn't be like, oh, yeah, okay. Like, we should still be excited. We should be kind of going after the job that we want, or going after whatever it is that you want here, okay, with the Fool and the Star. I do feel like this is less of, Star is normally about healing, but for me, this does kind of feel like this is less of healing for you guys and more so of like the stars are aligning to kind of give you what you want here. With the Fool, again, it is a leap out of your comfort zone, and it does feel like you are not used to it. But the way I'm hearing it is like, you're not going to let it stop you, which is like really, really positive. Stay grounded within yourself during this time. And I feel like with the Temperance here, remember that the way my guides are saying this is like, you're the co-creator of your own destiny, so like, don't lose sight of where you want to go, but also create the destiny that you want here. In your physical world, you've got the Three of Cups. So I do love this because it does feel like you have some support coming in around you with your like community, or like your, a weird word to come through, faculty. Maybe you work in a school. But like Three of Cups for me is like community, friends, people cheering for you. It does feel like you have a lot of that coming in here. People rooting for you. Two of Cups, you can't make it up. Seven of Wands, though. Devil. Okay. I feel like, Cancer, I'm going to call you out a little bit here. You have to be careful with the way that you speak to yourself and the way that you're speaking to others. Okay? It feels like, the example I'm getting is like, have you ever had a friend where you've given them a compliment? You're like, oh, wow, I don't know, Marissa, you look so good today. And Marissa is like, oh, I look like shit today. All right, babe, I should have just kept the compliment then. You're kind of acting in that sort of energy right now. It feels like people are supporting you. People are coming in to be like, hey, you're doing so well. Hey, keep going, keep pushing. And you're just like, no, I suck. You need to check in with yourself a little bit more here and really start trying to understand why your defense mechanism is this deflection. With the Devil here, it does kind of feel like it's rooted in like a low self-esteem, like a low self-worth issue that we need to address and work on within ourselves, okay? But be careful with this. I'm getting a lot of caution about this. Some people are not they're not too keen on this. They're not going to take very well to you talking to them like this. Okay? In your past, you've got the Five of Swords, so this does check because you have struggled in the past with self-sabotage before. It feels like June is really coming in to highlight this for you and show you the ways in which you need to change a little bit here and the ways you can better yourself. Yeah, Seven of Cups. Justice. Oh, I feel like also for a long time you questioned whether or not you were, we talked about this already, but I'm bringing it up again, deserving of the things that you wanted here. Okay, with that Seven of Cups and the Justice here, in the past you had a lot of self-sabotage, particularly about the way that you interacted with something that you wanted or the way that you went after something that you wanted. And I feel like with that Seven of Cups, it led you to, this is so strange, it's like I'm hearing it led you to pick options you didn't actually want to pick. I feel like, again, that just speaks to the self-sabotage of the situation, you know? You went after things that you didn't want to because you didn't feel like you were deserving of the things that you actually wanted here. The way my guides are giving this to me is pretty blunt, but it's like dating down. Dating someone you view as like a safe choice. You know, you're kind of dating someone here that is a safe choice for you, as opposed to because you don't believe that you are deserving enough of what you actually want here, okay? In your near future, two cards fell out, so I took them both. You have the Four of Cups and the Hierophant. You, Cancer, you have such a funny, like, defense mechanism of, I'll pull away and act like I don't care. I feel like this is a really strong part of you that needs to be worked at. This is a really strong shadow part of you that needs to be brought out into the light so that you can really see it and accept it and understand also where it comes from. You know, like, why are you self-isolating? Like, why are you pretending like you don't care? Why are we feigning like so nonchalant even when we are in fact very chalant here? Can I get one more, please? Please? Thank you. Ooh, the Emperor. Wow. And Death. Wow. Okay. Strong energies for you guys. The monthly readings this month have popped off. The energies are so strong for, like, every sign. But with Death and the Emperor here, I do feel like this is particularly prudent is the word I'm hearing in the way that you are dealing with romantic partners. You do tend to, regardless, Emperor is the divine masculine, regardless of gender, we are all divine feminine, divine masculine. You know, this does kind of feel like you get close to someone and then you're like, oh no, I'm scared. Let me pull away. And I feel like you're going through this cycle in the near future for you, and I feel like your guides want you to be aware of, because that is the Death card, is the death of that ego. You know, you have to start really addressing within yourself, like, why do I have this trauma response? What's at the root of this trauma response? Everyone wants to say, you know, not everyone, but people always say, well, I don't want to be rejected. Okay, rejection wound goes even deeper. What's below that? Start peeling the layers of the onion away to get you to the true core of the matter here, okay? Go deeper than rejection, all right? How you're viewing yourself right now is the Nine of Pentacles. So I do love this for you because I do feel like you view yourself as that sort of like single, Pringle, ready to mingle, hot girl kind of energy, regardless of whether or not, like I said, you are masculine presenting, a man, etc., etc. Nine of Pentacles is hot girl energy. It is truly the embodiment of it. It is like that moment of, I don't really give a fuck what anyone says about me. I don't really care what these people think about me. I don't really, you know, it's concern about what concerns you, not what concerns other people about you. Okay? And it feels like you're sitting in a very strong, I'm also hearing like hard-headed place this month. So maybe try to be a little bit more fluid. You know, be a little bit more Pisces. I am a Pisces. You know, we are a little bit more go with the flow. Cancer, I feel like you could take a page from that book here, okay? Be a little bit more go with the flow and a little bit less of like stringent and strict. Yeah, Hanged Woman with the Hermit in the reverse. I feel like the reason you're a little bit stubborn here is because, you're dealing with like a hyper independence wound, you know, that wound of like, well, no, I don't need anyone. I don't need help. But I feel like at the same time, yes, it's helped your self-esteem and it's helped like your sense of self-worth here, but it does also have drawbacks that I feel like you're ignoring them right now. Specifically with that Hermit in the reverse, it's like when people come to help you or people come to ask you if you need help, you're like, no, I'm good, I don't need it. And I feel like this is kind of, the way I'm hearing it is like put you in a hole a little bit. This may, like in June, I feel like this may put you, okay, I also just heard run you ragged. This is one of those moments where like if you don't accept the help, you're going to just constantly be burning the candle at both ends. And I feel like with that Hanged Man, this is a harsh one. You have to stop with the belief that you can do it better. I know it's a hard one. It's a hard one to hear. I know it. And I get it. I am a double water sign. I get it. Sometimes I think that too. And I have to remind myself that better is not always better. Okay. If someone wants to come over and help me with the task, and in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I can complete this task 5 times faster than you. It doesn't really matter. Right. Because it's null and void. They're helping me. The task is still getting done and I'm receiving the aid that I asked for. Okay. You need to release that. Your superpower is temperance. I do feel like you are patient here. Like I said in the beginning, patience is required. I don't feel like that is something you are lacking necessarily. I feel like you do have patience, but the way I'm hearing it is like you're tired of being patient. You know, again, it feels like you're waiting on something here. You've waited for something to show up, to come in, and you're like, okay, where is it? Why is this happening? Like, why is it taking so long? But at the same time, you're still waiting. I don't feel like you've let this get to you. 5 of Cups. Let me get one more, please. 7 of Swords. Be very careful with how much you're looking at the past here. Okay, babe? It feels like with this 5 of Cups and the 7 of Swords, Cancer, you have a really bad habit, again, of like... excuse me. I just got chopped in the throat. Damn, throat chakra issues as well for you guys. Feels like you're struggling to really stop keeping an eye off the past, right? It feels like you're kind of always looking at what's going on in the past or what happened in the past and then comparing our current energies to it. And I feel like this is not really getting you anywhere in June, right? It feels like this is just a little bit of a waste of time for you. You're expending mental energy to almost like, it's like a self-degradation thing, you know? And I feel like, do you know, okay, the example my guides are giving me is like, do you ever have a friend, you know, I think I used the name Marissa before. Let's use Marissa again. Let's say you have your friend Marissa and like, she's just constantly dragging herself down, you know? She's like, oh my God, I'm so stupid and I'm so ugly and I'm so worthless. It feels like you have this problem as well, you know? And I feel like your guides are pointing it out to you to remind you that every time you listen to Marissa bring herself down, you're like, oh my God, Marissa, like we could be doing so many other things besides talking poorly about ourselves right now. And that's what you have to remember here. Anytime you speak poorly about yourself, try to rein it in a little bit and be like, okay, why am I talking like this? But also like I could be doing better things than just like trash talking myself right now, right? Because your hope is the 10 of Pentacles, babe. Your hope is the happily ever after. 10 of Pentacles for me is a family unit card, but it is also like the light at the end of the tunnel sort of card. You know, this is like I have the house on the cliff with the 2.5 kids and the dog. You know, this is that like final commendment is the word I just heard that you want here. Don't even know if that's a real word. You know, and I feel like that's what you're really fighting for in June is that end game, that happy ending. Please remember also you are your own happy ending here, okay? Yeah, Ace of Wands and Judgment. And I feel like you are, I feel like you deserve this. You know, I mean, obviously we are all deserving, like I said in the beginning here, but it does feel like you need to tell yourself that you are deserving, that you are worthy, that you can get the thing that you want here, that you can grab it with both hands and really like sink your teeth into it and like live that dream for yourself. Okay. I feel like your guides are 100% behind you right now. You know, I'm not going to sugarcoat that. Or not sugarcoat, but like, I'm not going to keep that from you. You know, you have a lot of really good cards, a lot of green flag cards here. And it feels like, Cancer, your guides are like, keep going. We've got you. You are in the right lane here. You're doing what you need to do. Okay? Be excited. Be happy. Because your outcome is the Emperor again. We love the Emperor. The Emperor is so like, it is like the Emperor Empress is like the highest level we can sit in, right? And being in that Emperor, you could be an entrepreneur. This is a card of like having your own business, making your own money. But this is also like it's a card for you guys specifically of like running your own life. The way I actually just heard this was kind of funny, but because like my guides were like running your shit. I do feel like this is a card for you guys of like, okay, you're running your shit. You're doing what you need to do here. I'm really proud of you guys, Cancers. You are. You're killing it. You need to be proud of you though. You know? Can I get one more, please? Thank you. Or two more. I'll take it. Yeah, 8 of Wands at the bottom of the deck here. 3 of Cups, the Empress. Wow, Emperor, Empress, showing up very balanced, very in tune with ourselves, with our needs, and how to get them. This is like a really, really beautiful combo, Emperor and Empress. You know, it feels like you've also got the 3 of Cups and the 4 of Swords. How do I say this? There's a rest period here for you, okay? Can I get closer? Is it gonna focus? My what do you call this, webcam really be playing games with me recently. Okay, it feels like there is a cool down period for you guys here. After all is said and done, after everything happens, the month is over, you get what you want. It feels like there is a rest period here. So I want you to remember that this is not just ongoing. This is not just I'm spinning my wheels and I'm just like going and going and going. There is going to be a period of celebration and rest for you at the end of it. But I do feel like that is kind of like the reward at the end of it. You know, you get the things that you're looking for, you achieve the goals you want, and then there's like that little rest and reprieve at the end of it, okay? I'm not telling you to, like I said, burn the candle at both ends and get yourself to that end as fast as possible, but it is a nice little thing to know that at the end of all this hard work, there is a reprieve for you, okay? All right, let's get you an oracle card. I'm using the Angelarium. It is a retelling of the fallen angels. The artwork is also just absolutely stunning. So, can I get a card for Cancer, please, for the month? For their monthly overview, please. Monthly forecast. Thank you. All right. Interesting. You've got Chazakiel, Angel of Mists. I love this card. I'm going to read it to you, but it does speak to needing to commit. Commit to a goal. Okay, so let's get into this. 27. 27 could be important for one of you. Despair creeps up slowly and seductively. The romance of sadness brings us into its embrace and shields our eyes from the light in the world. If you are drawing this card, ask yourself if your vision has narrowed. Peer beyond the fog. Look for a glimmer in the distance rather than the shadows at your feet. No matter how tight the walls close, the larger world is always still out there. Okay, Cancer, I feel like this speaks really heavily to not getting that tunnel vision that we were talking about in this reading, and to being able to see the outcome, see what you want here, and then go after and get it, okay? I will leave you guys with this. This is your June monthly forecast. Like I said in the beginning, if you like the way I read, if you like the style, consider throwing a like at the video, and you can subscribe if you want. We're on the way to 100 subscribers. Like I said, I stream 3 days a week on Twitch, so you can find me there if you would like as well. And that's what I've got for you guys. So if I do not see you on Twitch, I will see you in the next video, okay? Bye.